So earlier I said we're going to play Old Macdonald. We're at the practice center right now, and it's just like, we've got a perfect day of weather, which is kind of rare this time of year. I mean, the short game area is beautiful. There's real targets and bunkering out on the range, so you have actual targets you're hitting to. This is really special to be here. The Colby looks good, downward dog. That's a position I'll have him in all weekend. I'm just beating him so badly. Good range session complete. Also, the practice balls here are TP5Xs. We're gonna have to be checking Josh's bag at all times.
Oh yeah, baby.
Because
brought 4 balls.
That's just who he is. This bag will be heavier on the way home.
Sir, your bag is 100 pounds.
Sir, why do you have 19 dozen balls in your bag?
And why are they all practiced?
Nice ball.
What, Colby?
The last one we'll see of that.
Oh my god, I went nowhere.
You pounded that.
I felt like I pounded that.
Yeah, what results were not good enough?
Yeah, it looks like I used a 9.
Johnny Sins out there.
Johnny Sins. And we're off. That ghost tree is sick. Like, just the fact that it's on.
Oh no, that's not what I wanted. I'm just gonna make it along.
Currently on the 4th hole here. We decided to play the back tees. It's because it's so beautiful out today. Very calm, maybe a full 5-mile-an-hour breeze, if that. Currently 1 over through 4. Figure these other days we'll play the up tees when it's windier and cooler out. Every single person that I've ever talked to has said that it's an unbelievable experience, you need to go, and now I see why. I'm just happy we're getting some actual good weather. Monday looks like a hurricane.
Got the GoPro.
Oh, fuck me. Three over through 5, I think, right now. Released the club on that last one, broke the tripod stand for the GoPro, so kind of ruins it for the rest of the trip, but Colby brought one. We'll be stealing his tripod stand. Look at the 5th hole. From the back of the green, it's about a 10-foot difference in elevation that slopes down to where that front pin is. One of the most scenic holes I've ever been on. About 50 feet from down there, you walk up and then just see the ocean. Crazy, it's beautiful. Hit it to about 8 feet here, missed the birdie putt. We're 4 over through 6, I think. We ended the bogey train, folks, so we're back. Up the hill.
And your favorite.
That's okay. For you, that's like really good.
God damn it, dude.
Hit another really flush iron on 12. Hit a 7-iron. Pin was 196. Hit it here. Also, I don't know if I've told you guys, but I just got new TaylorMade P770 irons. This is my actually first round with them, with the KBS Tour 130s. First round out with them, just trying to get used to all that. And need to make a birdie here. Haven't made a birdie yet, but it's just an incredible day for this time of year to have this weather, no wind. Just trying to enjoy it as much as possible, even though I'm 5 over, but that's okay.
Yes. That's bending. Yes. Oh, that's perfect.
You're such. Following up that drive, had 138 left, and actually hit a shot tight here to try to make the first birdie of the day for me. Currently 5 over. So I ended up missing that one, another par. One thing to note this time of year, it's February. Take a look at the grass here. It's kind of blotchy, not really playing at summer speed, so it's a little rough. Still overall smooth, but just something I really didn't expect. But on to 12. Round is coming to an end here. I'm currently 7 over. 1 birdie, can't really get anything going. No momentum. sad. Trying to get up and down on 18 for par into the punch bowl. It's a crazy undulating green. Look at the punch bowl on 18. This green isn't one of the craziest greens I've ever seen in my life. Seems to be the theme of the day. That's why I keep 3-putting. Looks like you're safe. Jesus. '79, 9 bogeys, 1 birdie. Beautiful golf course, awesome day. Just gotta play better in worse weather, that's all. What?
Okay. It's a confessional. Yeah, I think this has to record everything. Not everything has to be recorded, Ben.
Yeah, it does.
Anyway, even though I played like shit, the course was fantastic. It was a great layout. The weather was hotter than usual, which is weird to say coming from Phoenix, but the crown jewel of today's round was that I started and finished with the same ball.
I'm with you on that, yeah. Didn't even come close.
No, I didn't even come close to losing the ball. This ball has always just been like, hey, I'm right here.
It's a ball right there.
Except this ball didn't go in the hole.
Yeah, it didn't do that.
As quickly as I would like it. It's all right, ball.
Hope you guys enjoyed those clips out on the golf course. We're trying to get better camera. I know the GoPro footage is not great, but I have Colby here. He played with me during that round. I just wanted to do a brief summary of the round. So Colby, that was the first course we rolled up to on the Bandon Dunes property. We go up, you go to the practice facility, you show up there. I was kind of just in awe and shock. The weather was beautiful and we were at Bandon Dunes. And everyone leading up to it, I did light research. We listened to some podcasts of people talking about Bandon Dunes. And when you're playing Old Macdonald, you're about to bust out laughing.
Acting.
All right, you're acting.
Yeah.
So we roll up to Bandon. So we show up and everyone was saying how this was the worst course at Bandon Dunes. And it's a ridiculous thing to say because you're playing I'm pretty sure it's top 50.
Yeah, most of them have it in top 20.
Yeah, so you start out, you go in the pro shop, there's that ghost tree logo.
Mm-hmm.
And then you get to the third hole off the tee. That is one of the coolest things. Easy starting hole. Somewhat hard, okay, par 3, and then it just gets into it over a blind ridge with the ghost tree. It was a beautiful course. The greens are massive. I think they're the largest green complexes in the country by square foot.
Yep.
I 3-jacked 7 times. I think where the course falters compared to the other courses, again, we're comparing it to the best courses in the country. Yep. Not trying to sound like this is a dump. Don't get it confused with Ken McDonald of Tempe, Arizona. I think where the course falls short is in the depths of the course. In the low-lying areas, some of the holes are forgettable. There's really highs, you go up 7 and you're like, holy cow, there's the ocean. And 8, you hit down on that par 3. There's some absolutely beautiful sights, but compared to the other courses where you're constantly seeing the ocean, Old Macdonald is not like that.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. The first 2 holes are it's a template course. You and I both know that. The guy that, I forget, I'm reading the book, but the guy that designed it and created it just wanted to, as a homage to, whatever his name is, McDonald, whatever his first name is. But anyway, the first 2 holes are just basic. We got a par 4 that's just down, as you can see in the video, one of the first tee shots that we did, and then the next one's just short par 3. But then that third hole is where you're hitting over the ghost tree, and once you walk up the hill, it kind of just opens up a little bit, and it's holy cow, this is where we're at type of situation. Yeah. But I would say the first. I'm glad we played that course first though, because I think it did have the best reveal of hey, we're at Bandon Dunes, because 7, I can't remember if it's a par 4 or par 5, but basically you hit up really high and then you walk up, and then right when you get to the top, there's the green, and it's just cliff, and you just look out and you're like, holy cow, this is real. This is real right now. That was the realization part.
Yep.
For that.
Yeah, and then we paid good rates.
I think we need to mention though, it needs to be mentioned because it was so cool, is that on the next hole, hitting down on the par 3, there was that bird.
Yeah.
There was that bird that Jeff hit his ball. I think we all are on the green, but for some reason it picked on Jeff and his ball, picked it up and flew away with it. And that was kind of a cool little.
I've never seen that in person. That was really cool.
Yeah, that was awesome. But yeah, you're right. I mean, we're picking hairs at this point. We're splitting hairs at this point, where it's how do you choose the worst course and the best course? But I think that it just comes down to if you had to only play 4 courses, or if there was one course you had to leave out, I would probably pick Old Mac. At least for my next trip. You know, the trip after that, I might just be like, you know, it's been a while since I've played Old Mac, because it is very special. But you're right, it's just, as far as a wow factor, it just doesn't have as many as the other 4 courses.
Yeah.
So
And the other thing I'll say, just kind of to conclude, because I don't want us to drag these videos on, I was worried going into Bandon Dunes because it's so popular. I was like, the tee times are filled every day. It's like, we're gonna have slow play, it's gonna drag. I barely saw anyone on the golf course, and I don't think we had any slow play the entire time we were there. It's so weird. They do 10-minute gaps and tee times, which is what every course should do, because that's perfect.
Right.
But it's weird because each hole sits in its own little world. And then you walk to the next one, you're like, what's this next one going to be? So I really liked that about that whole experience. There's no golf carts on the entire property. We had our little rickshaws.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what I was, one of the most impressive and surprising things about that entire trip was not waiting to play. I think at Bandon Dunes, the first couple holes, it was jammed up a little bit, but
yeah, because we played in the morning earlier in the morning that day.
Yeah.
So it was a little more packed. When we played Old Mac, I think we teed off at like 1 or 2.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's crazy because it's like a links course. So they're supposed to be like pretty, next to each other. It's all supposed to flow together. You're not really hitting into other fairways because it's like, at the end of the day, it's an easy course, but it's just daunting. Like you look at it and you're just like, holy shit. Like,
yeah,
how am I supposed to tackle this? There's hills all over the place. Your feet are definitely below the ball. Yeah, and the greens.
For me, it was the greens. It was like I was driving it actually pretty well that day, and I'd be 45 feet from the hole, and you don't have your speed on. I mean, I three putted a bunch, and I only made 1 birdie the whole round. But yeah, it was very forgiving off the tee, but you're hitting into massive greens, and you have to have your speed down. Overall, like, when you're playing that golf course, you're excited, you're loving it. It's just, you get spoiled.
Exactly. Let's not get it twisted. For anyone watching this, using this as a review to understand what they're expecting, we're not trying to say that it's not a good course. And you can go on YouTube and whatever and find so many of saying the same exact thing, and it's true. It really is. You won't understand until you're there and you play all 5 courses. We're just saying that, like, let's say you only had 4 rounds you could fit in a trip. You had to. This is the one that I would knock off.
Yeah, I think that's a good summary.
Like, if you had to choose between 5 supermodels, like,
yeah,
and you can only use 4.
Right. But now we have, and there's plus size models now, so you could choose them. Yeah, that's a good way to put it. You're choosing between 5 supermodels.
That, or like, pick your 5 favorite foods. You can only have 4 of them. Like, one doesn't make the cut. Like, that's just the way that it is.
Yeah.
I would pick it over almost any course in Arizona.
Yeah.
Outside of a few, but it is what it is. All right, cool.
For anyone still watching, we're going to have, next up is Sheep Ranch. So we'll be reviewing all the courses at Bandon Dunes, including the Preserve, the par 3 course. So stay tuned for that content. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel, and we'll see you next time.